Hello friends from around the world, I'm Dan and you're watching iAllegedly. I am on Main Street in Huntington Beach today and I've got a good one for you today. So much is happening right now, from interest rates going up to unemployment numbers to a little bit of everything. And before I get into it, please take a second, please hit the like button, please hit the subscribe button. Share this with everybody. Don't forget, we've got the Webull promotion that if you sign up for a free Webull account, the link is below. You can get a free share of stock that's worth up to 300 bucks. And if you fund the account with any money, a dollar, a penny, anything, they'll give you 2 more shares of stock that could be worth up to $3,000 more, which is absolutely amazing. And if you want to trade cryptos and you put any money into the cryptos that they trade, you can get $5 worth of free crypto, which basically I think it's Shiba Inu is what they're giving out. Very cool. Let's get into it. First things first, the Bank of England this morning just announced that they raised interest rates for the first time back-to-back since 2004. They raised interest rates higher than everybody thought they were going to raise them. They thought they were going to raise them 0.25%, and they raised them 0.5%. And here in the States, it's kind of got the market's a little spooked right now, but it's neat to be out here, by the way, when nobody's out here. Okay, this place is normally a bustling surfing section and lots of people shopping and stuff like that, and there's just nobody out here on the street, so I'm going to take advantage of that. But here's the thing about England and all my friends from the UK that write me. Inflation is out of control around the world, globally, okay? It is the one topic that people, and Dan, I'm bored with you talking about inflation. Don't talk about inflation. Okay. It's the one thing that irritates people, but it's the one thing that none of you can get rid of, okay? It's that rash that is this gonna go away? And it's not, okay? So, that being said, how about this? England and all the professionals here in the States, around the world, are saying that England's inflation will rise 54%. 54% is what's anticipated over the course of the next 6 months. Now, guys, that's insane. One thing they do here still is you've got the outdoor dining areas where they want to encourage people to eat outside. And they set up these areas like this, and then they put these barriers. How there have not been car accidents and people plowing into diners, I don't know. But that being said, that's happening. So it's nice. You got just an old school, old town feel down here. Okay. So Bank of England blinks first. Now, here's the thing. Oh, this is going to make the States jump on it, and we're going to have to get on raising interest rates right away. No, we're not. And again, if you listen to everything, I still don't think that we're going to see any significant rate increases. And it's a bold move that they raised at 0.5%. I'll be the first one to tell you that. And everything I've read, because they were talking about 0.25%, and no one was anticipating the 0.5%. ADP, the private company, the payroll company, came out and said that we lost 301,000 jobs. Okay, that's bad. Okay, and thanks for your opinion, ADP. If you've noticed, they've been wrong, I think, since October. For the last 3 months, they've been significantly off on what their numbers are. Now, the White House has come out and said, hey, listen, there's a lot of factors that go into these job numbers, and we think that people are having a really difficult time right now, and you're going to see worse than expected job numbers at the end of the week. Okay, well, it was just announced today that 238,000 more people filed for first-time unemployment job claims, okay, which is horrific. It's absolutely terrible. Now, this area that I'm at right now on Main Street, this is the main drag. This is the best part of the street. Now, this area of Main Street is completely closed to cars. They shut it down with the health crisis around a year ago and just made it just a no driving area, which is very cool because it's made all these shops and all these bars, open, just to sit outside. It's very cool. So that being said, the 238,000 people that filed for first-time unemployment claims, this week, they're saying that's great news because they were anticipating a much higher number. The higher number was 245,000, guys. It was not 10%, not 5%. It was 6,000, 8,000, 7,000, whatever that, and 7,000 people less than they thought it was going to be. And they're trying to cheer this right now. Again, absolutely ridiculous. But again, these poor people that lost their jobs, it's absolutely a disaster right now. And this is happening right before our eyes. But the numbers for January are going to be horrific when they get announced at the end of the week. Now, we just saw Facebook and their earnings get announced, and they lost money. They're losing subscribers. They lost 1 million people. They lost me. Now, I have a Facebook account, got a few different things for the businesses and things like that. But here's the one thing that I absolutely had a problem with, and that was I had Facebook on my phone, okay? And I would talk to people about certain things, you know, their business, the guy sold cars, the guy sold termites, whatever. I would then go on my computer and I would see ads for that on Facebook from what I talked about on my phone. And that freaked me out. I thought this is too creepy. So we did tests. We did tests on, you know, snowmobiles, and we did tests on things that I had never sold, never did anything about. And sure enough, winter boots was one of them I did, and I had winter boot ads. So I mean, absolutely, completely chaotic. But you know, they spent $10 billion in the metaverse, and that's their big expense, and that's where a lot of the losses are coming. So people are getting their start early, eating and hanging out. So there's that. Now the next thing is Google announces their earnings, and they made, you know, tens of billions of dollars, and the revenue was up and everything was great. And but Google announced a 20-to-1 stock split. Now what's significant about this is that there hasn't been a 20-to-1 stock split in a big company like this in forever. The last one was Getty Oil that I could even find. Okay, so, and that was, you know, decades and decades ago. So the one thing that's interesting about this is that, think about this, if you own 1 share of stock on July 15th of this year, when you wake up on the 18th, you're going to have 20 shares of stock. So they're going to give you 19 more shares of stock. Now, the problem with this is the shares are hovering around $3,000 right now. So it's basically going to make Google shares go down to 150 bucks. Now, you know, they're trying to get retail investors. The thing that doesn't make any sense to me is that normally when you see stock splits announced, there's not a 5.5-month window waiting period. It's normally much faster. You get all the different BJs, and you get all the different markets down here, okay? I mean, this is, you know, Times Square with nobody here. It's kind of interesting to be down here like this. So, again, the one main drag, they seal it off, and you got the bars. Look, guys, we could steal kegs of beer. Help me, okay? Bring your car up, okay? Anyways, 20-to-1 stock split. If you buy a $3,000 stock, it can go down to 150 bucks. But you've got this 5.5-month window, so the market could collapse, it could go down, and it's shareholders of record on that 15th of July date. So it's going to be interesting to see if we see the stock take off and go up and do crazy things between now and then. Our national debt just hit $30 trillion. Unbelievable. Now, here's the worst thing. Over the next 5 years, they say it's going to go up by at least $5 trillion. But the worst part of this whole thing, and the worst number, is that by 2051, half of all federal revenue will be used to pay the national debt. Well, that's, you can't run a business like that. So it's done. We're done. This country's done financially and fiscally. It's just a complete mess. So, you know, we've got to get control of this now. And again, nothing is being done to fix any of this, okay? Now, next thing is a story that was sent to me by a lot of people, and before I get into that, this right here, guys, is the Surfing Hall of Fame, where you get all these different people that you guys have heard of, and it's just really cool, you know, for those of you that are into surfing, and they put the plaques out, and just really a nice spot at the end of Main Street and PCH. there was a man that was banking with Wells Fargo and B of A, and he wrote what he thought was himself a check to deposit from his Wells Fargo account to his B of A account. And sure enough, guys, just like I've warned you guys 1,000 times over, that is, he deposits a cashier's check into his Bank of America account and the branch closes. Now, here's the problem. Guy goes to the branch the next day, or, you know, to find out that the money is missing, completely gone, and they have no record of the deposit. And, you know, woe is me, this is ridiculous. Now here's where the guy made the mistake. He didn't have the check made out to his own name, Brian Leonard. He had the check made out to Bank of America, like he was paying Bank of America. So the teller, and when they reconciled the books, it was lost. Now, it's not an excuse for the money being missing, but again, guys, whenever you write cashier's checks, make sure it's going to go to the whoever you're paying. And this guy clearly wasn't paying Bank of America. He was going to pay a contractor, and he wanted to put it in his account so that he could write checks to the contractor from there. So problem solved. It got resolved. But I mean, what an absolute disaster that this guy went through, and really tragic. So again, if you don't think that branches are going to close, if you think that I am just an insane kook that's talking about all this stuff, you're kidding yourself, because then again, Mr. Leonard experienced multiple branches of Bank of America closed, and that was absolutely, you know, it was absolutely terrible. Now the next thing is, I got reached out to by a woman that, I won't use her name because she didn't give me authorization to do that, but she's got $50,000 in credit card debt, okay? And she says, Dan, you know, I'm caring for my aging mother. I've got $50,000 in credit card debt. Guys, right, I'm right at the Huntington Beach Pier. She's got 50 grand in credit card debt. And I want to take money out of my 401k and pay off my credit card debt. What do you think about this? Well, here's the advice that I gave her, and it's really simple, and that is, what is your peace of mind worth, okay? What I mean by that is, if I was going to tell you it was going to cost you $5,000 in taxes, is it worth $5,000 just to sleep at night, just to have your bills paid off and not worry about it? Is it worth 10? Is it worth 15? That's a decision you have to make. Now, here's the thing. Because she's taking care of her aging mother, there are new tax laws that make it so that she could be considered a dependent. The mother could. So could this be something that she could go out and get the tax write-off, and then wouldn't have any real implications to it? Possibly. Plus, somebody else gave me the other idea, and that was, go borrow against the 401k and set up a loan with whoever you have the 401k with. Now, again, all great solutions, but what the main answer to this is to go out and get a tune-up on your finances. And here's the thing. We will do maintenance on our cars. We will change our oil, we will check the battery, we'll check the fluids, we'll check the tires and do everything. Why? Why do that, guys? Think of the expense that you would save over the course of a year, because I'm adding all my crap up right now, and it's a lot. Think of what you would save if you didn't do maintenance. Just drive that car till it drops, guys. Fix it when it breaks. The check engine light comes on, don't ignore it, okay? Just keep going, because you know nothing's broken yet. Imagine living your life that way, because the car would be destroyed. Eventually the car would be so damaged that it would destroy the car, okay? Well, people will do that, but they won't do a tune-up on their finances, okay? Now, the thing that I've gotten the most thank you mail for over the course of the last year, because I started looking at it, was this, and that is, you know, you will go see your accountant. You put everything together, you want to minimize the time with your guy as much as possible, so you put it all together for him, and okay, hopefully I'll spend an hour and a half with this guy, and that's it. Well, why? Why not call your accountant and get advice on what you're working on throughout the year, okay? And I've had more people thank me and say, that's a great idea. I do it quarterly now, and it just solves all these problems with that. Why not, okay? And again, you're gonna get the, hey, it's tax season, we're a little busy. Who cares? They are busy. I'm busy. I work 7 days a week right now, guys. So I'm busy, but you know, I'm gonna call you back. I may call you back at 10 o'clock at night, but I'm gonna call you back. So nobody's that busy, okay? So that being said, look at the tune-up for your, for your finances, guys. It's always nice out here when the sun comes up. You got it peeking through over there. Now here's something that I found humorous, and that was NBC News says, we've got great news for real estate in 2022. Real estate is not going to shoot up 18% like it did over the course of the last year and a half. It's going to go up 7.5%. Okay. How did these, mind readers and soothsayers know this? I mean, this is crazy that they're going to predict a 7.5% increase in real estate prices. When you look at different people throughout the markets that are talking about how this is going to be a bloodbath eventually when real estate, when interest rates go up and affect real estate, because it's going to price people out of the market in such a big way. People are already starting to get their tax refunds. And what happens with that is when people are broke, they sit there and go, oh my gosh, I got to get my taxes done as quick as possible so I can get my tax refund. There are circumstances, to say the least, where these people got these tax refunds quicker than normal, to say the least. You have to also beware. You're getting letters from the IRS right now that talk about the stimulus money, and also people are getting a Form 1099-G. Now, here's the thing. There was a substantial amount of fraud in the, a substantial amount of fraud in the unemployment that was filed. So people are getting these Forms 1099-G. If you get a Form 1099-G and you did not apply for unemployment, you got to do something about this, because somebody used your name and there's been identity theft. And, make sure you also got the right amount, because what's happened is people may have gotten it for a couple weeks, they may have been eligible, not filled it out, and somebody took advantage of it and took out your money for you. Next thing, Kevin O'Leary, Mr. Wonderful, is talking about how right now people that are looking for jobs have never had the leverage that they have right now. They can negotiate terms, you can negotiate time off, you can negotiate absolutely everything from salary, and it's never been better for people that are looking for jobs. And I believe that too. And again, everybody, here's what I want. You know what I love? Do you ever watch that show, Pawn Stars? I get a kick out of people that walk in and go, they interview the guy before. Hey, I'm hoping I can get $600 for the lamp. And then he walks in and he says, well, what were you thinking? I'm thinking I'd like $600. Well, that's your high. Okay, well, that's what you want. And I'm not giving you that. Unless the expert comes in and says that the lamp is worth $3,000, Rick's not giving you more money. So again, why not open at 800? Why not open up higher? Because once you open your mouth and give them that number, you're never going to get $1 more for that. So there's that. One thing that's amazing is that the Huntington Beach High School has a surfing team, and they're all out practicing. Imagine your class is surfing. How cool would that be? If you were a local surfer, that'd be the coolest thing ever. On the IRS Form 1040, there's a question on your 2021 tax return that has never been asked before. I'm going to read it to you because this is exactly how it's stated. If a taxpayer has either received, sold, exchanged, or disposed of any digital currency. Now, guys, that pretty much covers everything. So somebody gave you some Bitcoin, somebody gave you some Shiba, somebody gave you something. Well, they want to know about if you've ever received it. Now, you can watch all the TikToks where people are saying, don't worry, they're not coming after you. Well, guys, if you say you've received some, or you've owned some, at some point, they're going to come back to you and say, hey, did you sell it? What's the value of it? So the other thing is, if you just think about this, if you say no to this, okay, and then 2 years from now, you have made 250 grand on Bitcoin. Okay, well, how'd you make $250,000 on Bitcoin, guys? They're going to ask that. Michael Saylor, I love this one. Michael Saylor is the absolute king of Bitcoin, as far as I'm concerned. He's the biggest advocate. He had a very famous debate with Frank Giustra, who is the gold guy, talking about how Bitcoin's so much better. But think about this. His company, MicroStrategy, owns 125,051 Bitcoins. Okay, right now That's almost $4.8 billion worth of Bitcoin that this guy owns. So it's somebody I would listen to when it comes to Bitcoin. But he's also one of these people who's talking about how you could, you know, hey, if somebody's looking for your Bitcoin in California, it can be in Denver, it can be here, which created some controversy. So again, people love this guy. The Oklahoma Senate is doing something that's absolutely crazy. They are trying to set up a bullion reserve. Why is that? For gold. And the reason for that is they want gold to be used as currency in the state of Oklahoma. Imagine that, guys. Okay? They're not setting up the Bitcoin reserve, they're setting up the gold reserve. So there's that. Fascinating stuff, guys. And look at all these people out here. Can you see everybody? Absolutely. All these surfers out here, first thing in the morning. What's funny is they're all kids. Imagine, I mean, I'm sorry, but that would be the coolest class ever to have that. So now, final story of the day is people are so harping on credit scores right now and how good your credit score needs to be to get proper loans and things like that. Credit scores go from 300 to 850, and I don't think I'm going to make it to the end of the pier today. I'm sorry, guys. 300 to 850. Now, they say that there's only 1.6% of people in the United States have a perfect credit score of 850. And I haven't met that person, so have you? Okay. Now, they say that the ideal credit score is 760. If you have a 760 credit score, then you can go out and you can pretty much dictate loan terms and get the best rates and best credit cards and things like that. And there's this guy. Look at that. Oh, the waves crashing through. It's really odd. The waves break differently from one side of the pier to the other. So, but again, you see a lot of the students over on that one side. So again, you know, they say about fixing your credit score to get the best rate. That's always solid advice. Please do not forget to hit the like button. Please do not forget to hit the subscribe button. Have you guys experienced stuff like this with Facebook, where all of a sudden you're talking about, you know, crochet, and all of a sudden you get an ad for that on your Facebook account? And again, I know a lot of people that have shut this thing off for this reason. And the metaverse is maddening to a lot of these people as well. So share your thoughts on all this stuff. Please don't forget to hit the like button, the subscribe button. Please don't forget that we have the Webull promotion. If you sign up for a Webull account, the link is in the video description below. You can get a free share of stock for absolutely free in signing up for the account. If you fund the account, you can get 2 more shares, you get 3 shares of stock. If you fund it with crypto and buy any crypto, they'll give you $5 free too. Onward and upward, guys. I will see you guys very soon. A lot is happening, and see you soon.